Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome y'all back to episode 37 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. As always, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all for y'all continuous support. Whether you subscribe to the podcast, whether it be on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, man, I just want to say thank you for supporting the movement on social media. Thank you for spreading the movement via word of mouth. And ultimately, thank you for allowing the podcast to be a beacon of positivity in your journey. As I've said a million times this quarter, the reason why we're going where we're going is credit to the love and support that y'all give day in and day out. And as I've said again, 1,000 times already, I'm not going to say it again, but I shall forever give thanks like a pilgrim. But before we go any further, you already know we got to cover some logistics first. I would like to extend the invitation, if you haven't done so already, to like, comment, and subscribe to the campaign. We're going to take over the algorithm this year. I got some new content on the way that's going to help me, push through a lot of barriers. So make sure y'all support the movement by following the campaign on Instagram and Threads at the Roll Up Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Sauce Brady Experience. I also am updating the website. My domain expired and MailChimp got bought out by another company. I don't really trust the other company because I never really heard of them. But I will have a new main official website for the podcast in the next couple of days. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that as well. Also, I have merch going on sale right now. The Season 5 collection is available via the Sauce Factory and the Spot. Remember, each merch purchase will automatically get you an autographed copy of my book, You Deserve Better, for free. If you don't want it for free, you can always grab it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, along with my first book titled Here's the Truth. Both are really great reads. The content is very relatable, so whether you're on day 1 or day 421, then it's going to give you the extra nudge, the extra push to keep going. I'll also be starting a new campaign titled Gaming with Sauce, where I live stream some of my favorite video games, and we can also do a Q&A so we can chop it up and we can connect with one another. Make sure y'all be on the lookout for that, because I'm very excited to get that movement started as well. And so, now we got the business out of the way, it's time that we dive into today's conversation. When I was in high school, our basketball team was one of the most dominant teams in the state. Majority of the teams we played, we literally ran them out of the gym, and we even took down Derek Favors and his South Atlanta team in the playoffs for one of the biggest upsets that season. Through the many lessons that I've learned from watching the game from the sidelines, our coaches always emphasize 3 things: acknowledging the passer, having positive body language, and the focal point of today's message: shooting is contagious. We had some lethal sharpshooters on our roster, and all it took was for one of them to make a 3, and it would start raining 3s for the remainder of the quarter, sometimes even the remainder of the game. When one person caught fire and the sideline started doing the shooter's bounce, it was time to break out the umbrellas. Just like we're going to get into in a few with today's quote, the energy in the gym will be electric, and it seemed to have passed from the starters to the players coming off the bench. Understanding the influence of energy from a sports perspective can easily be related to the energy we feel throughout our journey. As T. Harv Eker put it, energy is contagious. Either you affect the people or you infect people. When you think about it, all energy is contagious. When you're surrounded by pessimistic people who have a hard time being grateful, people that complain, if you aren't careful, that victim mentality will rub off on you, and vice versa. When you're surrounded by people that's winning, that winning spirit will rub off on you, and you will see doors opening right in front of your eyes. It's scientifically proven that energy can be transferred from person to person, and it's important that we are mindful of the energies that we allow to latch on as we embark on this journey to achieve our goals. As I mentioned earlier, one of the lessons that we were taught on the hardwood was to acknowledge the passer. By acknowledging the passer, you are giving credit to the person who assisted you in scoring the bucket. The same rule can be applied to achieving your goals outside of the court. Acknowledging people that's helped you is a key component in building effective relationships, and it helps boost morale. Being in a supportive environment will have you living in your true, authentic self, while being in an unsupportive environment will stifle your creativity and is the breeding ground of intrusive thoughts. When we look at how far we've came, it's important that we show gratitude to the people who was there for us when the world turned their back on us. It's important that we thank them for keeping our heads above water, because when we think about all the people that have helped us along the way, it should inspire us to do the same for the people coming up after us. Recently, I had a chance to link up with my guys from the Residual Impact podcast, and we touched on this a little bit. A lot of us have been brought up with the crabs in a bucket mentality. Too many people feel like because nobody gave them the game, then they refuse to offer the game to help them get to where they are. This energy is honestly draining and it's ineffective when it comes to uplifting those around you. The mentality has negatively affected so many people, and it's caused a great disparity in genuinely helping people reach their goals. But when you are elevating with your peers in mind, you will not hesitate to put the next person on. Reciprocating positive energy has been proven to have beneficial effects for all parties involved, and it helps the money stay in circulation in your friend circle. The second thing we were taught is that body language is everything. If you're tired, don't show it physically, because when you show it, you're exposing your weakness to your opponent, and it's easier for them to keep driving the knife in. But when we move with positive body language, we will positively affect the people around us, even if it's just a simple smile as we open the door for someone at the store. That smile could be the difference maker in their day. When we are high energetic people, and we are excited to see people, when we actually listen to people and we hype them up for their progress, we are showing one of the most purest forms of love. When we uplift others, not only are we putting them in their situation to win, we're also reciprocating that same energy to ourselves. You know, it's a common topic on social media about matching people's energy, especially when you get burned for being nice to somebody. I would like to remind you that reciprocating energy sometimes can lead you to stooping down to their level. While you think it's not affecting you, these seeds of doubt, intrusive thoughts, self-sabotage all seem to pop in out of thin air. Even when people do you wrong, it shouldn't stop you from shining your light. As we're going to touch on in the next episode, some of us are more than willing to share our light with others. It's important to keep in mind that what you put out is what you get in return. So if you're constantly killing people's light with your pessimism, you're ultimately signaling someone to do the same to you. But if you constantly uplift people, you will notice that you are welcoming that same energy. Lastly, the lesson of today is that we learn that shooting is contagious. By paying close attention to your circle and how good news spreads like wildfire, the way I've always seen it is that when the winds get closer, it's important to continue to cheer for others because your time is getting closer. The person you want to be exists, and the one sure way to get there is to support other people. I heard a quote recently that said, "The greatest gift we can give anyone is the inspiration to be great." Think about how you feel when people vocally acknowledge the work that you put in. Yeah, self-validation is necessary, but when people can come up to you and say that they can see the difference in your life, that has a positive effect, and it just hits different. When someone does something good for you, it's your turn to return the favor. When someone else is winning, instead of seeing them as competition, be happy for them instead. We're all in different stages of our journey. The chapter you're on may be different or similar from the next person, but you never know who's watching you. Your body language says more than your mouth does. When you take on your adversities in stride and don't let them throw you off track, you are leading by example. When you lead by example, not only does your vibrational energy become more pure, you will leave a lasting impact on the people you cross paths with. Like I mentioned earlier, shooting is contagious. When you start winning, the people who've been watching you win The people who've been watching you win will regain the confidence to go after the life that they dreamt of. When you start acknowledging the passer, you are embracing the gratitude, cultivating compassion with your teammates, and you're also increasing your own personal growth. If you're constantly putting people on, eventually somebody will come along and do the same for you. As we continue through this journey through 2024, remember that shooting is contagious. Remember that energy is contagious. because you never know. The way you respond to your friend's dream or vision could be the difference maker in their life. The way you carry yourselves in conversation will translate into action or procrastination. Hopefully this episode inspires you to be more mindful of the words you speak and the actions that you take. You achieving your goals may inspire people. It may even remind someone that they are a winner too and cause them to take relentless action towards their goals. It all goes back to the opening quote. Energy is contagious. You can either affect people or you can infect people. Don't let your message be indirect. Show the universe that you're ready to ascend by allowing your consistency to be the helping hand that your peers need. In closing, hopefully something was said that caused you to do an inventory on your energy. Is it having a positive effect or a negative effect? Is it beneficial or is it detrimental? Are you using your influence to uplift others or are you taking a dump on their vision? Be the former. Be the person that rekindles someone's flame for greatness. Be the person you can be, show up and do the work, and remember, when you start winning, it's almost the homie's turn and vice versa. I really enjoy bringing this content to your attention so I can plant a positive seed that helps you reach your goals. As always, I want to see you win, and I know you will too. I want you to see life for what it is and take advantage of every opportunity, but it doesn't matter if I see it, you got to see it for yourself. As always, it's your boy. Make sure you subscribe to the campaign on social media. Thank you. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you seek motivation. And remember, man, roll you a fatty because you deserve it. It's your boy.